Today's episode is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're still gonna have a lot of fun today. This one is geared towards my beginners who are watching today. We're gonna be learning, I think, one of the ultimate yacht rock songs, Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. I've gotten a ton of requests for this one, and it's a great one, particularly for my beginners who are watching today, because there's a great little riff, same riff in the beginning, and the same riff at the end, and the chords are very beginner friendly. The strumming pattern is also very simple here too. So this is gonna be a really fun one for us today. So go ahead and place your acoustic guitar in standard tuning. All right, and again, this is pre-recorded today, but don't worry if you guys have questions, put them in the comments section. I'm gonna get to as many of those as I can, so be sure to do that. So acoustic guitar, standard tuning, and as always, you know, I like to ask a question before we get things started. So let me know where you are tuning in from and a song you like to play, whether on the radio or, you know, stream it or play on your guitar that relaxes you. So a relaxing song and where you're tuning in from. All right, so here it is, Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. So there it is, Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. Again, a very fun one here, definitely geared towards beginners who are watching today. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause, folks. And if you want to check out all the cool gear that I use, you can check out the link in the video description below that'll lead you to all the cool fisherman gear I use in these lessons. So let's go ahead and get started here. At the very top, we have this very great intro riff that we see at the top and we see at the end. So the riff sounds like this. I'll play it a little bit slower and then we'll talk it out. All right, very sweet little riff there. So what we're gonna do, I like to play this with my first finger and my third finger. So place your first finger on the 5th fret of the E string, that's going to be your A note. Then you're going to reach over here with your third finger, it's going to be on the 7th fret of the B string. So that note there on the 7th fret of the B string is an F sharp, and then we have an A here. And we're playing them together, so like a dyad. Okay, these notes are harmonizing with one another. And what we're going to do here is we're going to play this little part 3 times. Just like that. Okay, now for the next part, we're going to keep the shape, okay? Only thing we're going to do is we're going to move it back. So your first finger should now be on the 3rd fret of the high E string, which would be your G note, and then your third finger is on the 5th fret of the B string, which is E. So just like that. From there, we're only going to play this one time. And then from there, we bring it back to where we originally started with the A and the F sharp. So the 5th fret of the E string and the 7th fret of the B string, respectively. And you're going to play that one time too. So if I play through this whole phrase, okay, it's going to sound like this, and play it along with me. Just like that. Let's go ahead and do that a few times here. Again. And one more time. So just like that. And this whole figure, we're going to repeat it twice. So it'll sound like this. I'll play it a little bit faster. It goes like this. If you can notice here with my strumming hand, these are all downward strokes. So just like that. Okay, so again, that figure is repeated 2 times. Then what we're going to do next, we're going to get our first and our second finger here. First finger goes on the 7th fret of the high E string, which would be our B note. And then we're going to get our second finger here, placing that in the 8th fret B string, which is G. So that should sound like this, played together. Okay. And again, another series of 2 notes being played at the same time. We call this a dyad. And we're going to play this 3 times, just like that. And again, notice my strumming hand, all downward strokes here, folks. We're keeping it easy. All right, so let's combine parts 1 and parts 2. Here we go, and I'll slow it down a little bit. Repeat. Part 2. Okay, let's go ahead and do that again. Just like that. All right, let's do that one more time and we'll finish the entire riff. So here we go. Just like that, okay? Not so bad. Let me know in the comments how everybody's doing, okay? So we've got that. And the final part of this riff is gonna go like this. Gotta love thirds, it's good stuff. So again, first finger, the 5th fret, that high E string, all right, it's our A note, 3rd finger goes on the 7th fret of the B string, it's our F sharp. Okay, and we're working our way back down, okay, same shape there. We've got the G note here, 3rd fret of the E string, and the E note, 5th fret of the B string. Strike it once. And then now, this is our new one here. We're going to place our first finger on the 2nd fret of that E string, that's our F sharp, and then our second finger is going to go on the D note, which is on the 3rd fret, the B string. And we're going to strike that 1 time, okay? So the last part goes like this. Okay, so just like that. Let's go ahead and break down the whole thing again. We're going to play it through a couple times. I'm going to play it a little bit slowly, and then I'll play it a little bit faster as we go. So here we go. Follow along. Repeat. Okay, let's do that again. Let's add a little bit more speed here. A little bit faster this last pass. Here we go. Good stuff, right? Again, a very sweet, charming little riff. It's great. Also, too, just a thought. If you are playing this by yourself and you're not, you're not the second guitar player in a band, let's say, for that last riff, if you wanted to end on a D major chord, that would be really, really cool too. So, because initially what we're doing there is we're playing 2 of the notes in a D major chord. We're playing the 3rd, which is F sharp, and we're playing the 1, which is D. The only note we're not playing in the D major chord is the A. So, if you wanted to do that, you could, and it would sound great. So, here's how that would sound, where we would end on the D major chord with the riff. So, here we go. See what I mean? So totally up to you. You can choose to just play the dyad of the 3rds or the full chord. Anyway, whenever I can give you options, I like to. And again, if you're enjoying the lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And I'm gonna put this in the video description too. I released a new EP yesterday. So it's called The Voices. You can buy it on Bandcamp. You can stream it wherever you stream your music. We're very, very proud of it. It's 5 tunes and a little bit of something for everybody. So you can check it out on my website too, AngelaPetrilliMusic.com. So let's go ahead and start looking at the chords that are being played over this riff. So the chords are very simple here. It's a D chord, a G chord, an A chord, and then back to a D chord. Now the strumming pattern here, very friendly one. Down, down, up, down, up. That's most of the tune, which is fantastic, especially for my beginners, yay, okay? So we've got our D chord here. How do we play that? Again, first 3 fingers here. We're gonna get our first finger here, 2nd fret of the G string, which is A. We're gonna get our 2nd finger here, 2nd fret of the E string, which is F sharp, and then you have your 3rd finger here on D, 3rd fret of the B string. Now, that down, down, up, down, up strumming pattern sounds like this. And we're strumming from the D string downward, so the bottom 4 strings. So let's go ahead and do that for a second here. Just like that. Next chord is an A. So the way I like to play my A chord, my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd fret of the D string, which is your E note. You've got your 3rd finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is A, and then your 4th finger here on the 2nd fret of the B string, which is C sharp. Again, as a reminder, what are the 3 notes that build an A major chord? It is A, C sharp, and E. And we have them all here. So strum from the A string downward, again, down, down, up, down, up. Here's how that would sound with that strumming pattern. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward. Awesome. Then we're gonna go here to oh, I skipped a chord. Anyway, we got a G chord before the A. We're live, folks. So we got a D chord, then we have a G chord, and then we'll have the A chord. All right, so let's talk about the G chord here. So first 4 fingers, this is the way I like to play a G chord. We're gonna get our first finger here, 2nd fret of the A string, that's our B note. 2nd finger, 3rd fret of the E string, which is G. We have our 3rd finger here on the 3rd fret of the B string, which is D, and then our 4th finger playing G on the 3rd fret of E string. So G, B, and D, our target notes are 1, 3, and 5, and again, guess what? Same strumming pattern, folks. So the progression, again, is gonna be D to G to A to D, all right? And that's gonna sound like this, strumming pattern here. Here we go. To G, A, to D. All right, so, and there's gonna be 2 bars of that D chord there. So, something to keep in mind too for my beginners who are watching, when you're switching from your D chord to your G chord, keep that 3rd finger where it is. Think of it as a pivot point. Why lift up that finger if you're gonna put it exactly where it was in the chord previously? All right, so keep in mind, pivot points are pretty cool. So those are the chords that are on top of the intro riff. We're now gonna get to our verse. Again, the strumming pattern is going to stay the same. Yes, all right? We're gonna have 6 bars of D major. So it'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so think about that strumming pattern there. Down, down, up, down, up. Once the pattern repeats, that's the next measure. Okay, so we've got down, down, up, down, up, measure 1. And then once we start it again, begin measure 2. Okay, and that D chord, we're gonna play 6 measures of that with that strumming pattern. Then what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go to an A chord and we're gonna play that one for 8 measures. So I'm gonna count that one off. Again, same strumming pattern here. Follow along with me. I'll play it a little bit slower. All right, remember, down, down, up, down, up. We're going to do that 8 times. So let's go ahead and do it together. I'll play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so just like that. So let's go ahead and do this. 6 measures of D major, 8 measures of A major. Then what we're going to do after this is we're going to do a measure of D, and then a measure of D7. So let me show you what that D7 looks like, and then we're going to put it all together. So I like to think of this D7, it kind of looks like a triangle, all right? Not kind of, I think it absolutely does. So we're going to get our first finger here on the C note, first fret of that B string. Second finger is going to reach over to play the second fret of the G string, that's A. My third finger here, I'm going to place that on the F sharp, second fret of that E string, and I'm going to strum from the D string downward. And the notes that make up this chord are D, F sharp, A, and C, okay? The 1, 3, 5, and the flat 7, okay? And we're going to do one measure of that, again, same strumming pattern. So here we go. Again, this is our verse, okay? Nice and slowly here, 6 measures of D to 8 measures of A to 1 measure of D to 1 measure of D7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To D. 1, D7. Okay, it's just like that. Pretty good stuff. So that's our verse. Now when we get into the chorus sounds like this. Okay, again, very friendly chords. That A over C sharp might seem a little scary, but don't worry. I'll show you how to play it. So, the chorus is going to start with a G major. Now, each of these are going to be one measure for the most part here. So we've got G, same strumming pattern, folks. To A major. To D major. To D7, and we're going to repeat this. Okay, so we're going to do that again. G to A to D to D7 2 times, all right? I'm going to play it just a little bit faster, so follow along. D7. Okay, now here's the second half of the chorus, and that sounds like this. right, so there's some notes that we're gonna hold, some chords that we're gonna hold, but don't worry, it's a cool technique to build some really great dynamics in a song. So again, back to that G major chord, down, down, up, down, up. Let's do that together. To A major. Now what we're gonna do here, so we're gonna play this D chord, and we're gonna let it, it's like a half note, so we're gonna go 1, 2, to A over C sharp, and I'll show you how to play this in a second. 1, 2, we're gonna hold it for just 2 beats, okay? So how we play this A over C sharp, this is the way that I like to play it. I like to use my third finger to play that C sharp, so I'm gonna use my first finger and my third finger. So my first finger is gonna go across the second fret of the D string, G string, and B string. So there's our A chord, right? Fantastic, there it is. Now, we're gonna add the C sharp in the bass, because remember, when we play an A chord, right, we have that A in the bass. What we're gonna do here is we're replacing it with a third of that chord in the bass, so that would be the C sharp. So, placing your third finger, for some of us, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but this is a good chord to know. We're gonna place that third finger, give it a good stretch, get as close to that fret as you can without touching it. Notice how my finger is nice and curled here, okay? If it's flat, we're gonna get something we don't wanna play. It's not an A over C sharp, all right? So we want you to do your best to get that finger nice and curled, that fingertip right on that fourth fret of the A string, that C sharp. And if you're first playing this chord and you can't get that C sharp there that's on the second fret of the B string, don't worry about it. You'll get there. Now, if you notice here with this chord, you cannot see my thumb. I know with a lot of these chords that I've been playing today, you can see my thumb overhanging. But with this one, it's done on purpose. The thumb is not there. The thumb, I am placing it, okay, the middle of the neck where the neck begins to curve, okay, the neck of the guitar. So I am pressing through with my thumb, okay? Almost like the thumb and the first finger are looking at each other. Almost. The thumb is a little bit more forward. If I'm looking at it here, the thumb is kind of where the third fret is. So I'm giving it a nice pinch. Okay, because if the thumb is up here, it may be hard for some of us to get that note. Again, things to think about. I want you guys to have good technique. Okay, so just like that. It's probably the hardest chord in this song. But we're not going to play it for very long. We just go 1, 2, and then we switch to a G chord. And from there, we're going to strum it. 1, 2, 3, 4 is our whole note. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play it from that point. All right? So this is the second half of the chorus. I'm going to play this nice and slowly here, and follow along if you can. All right? Okay, let's do that a couple times here. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, without the commentary. Do that a few more times here. Okay, so one more time for good luck, why not? A little bit faster here. From there, we're going to go ahead and go to an A chord, all right? We're going to do 2 bars of this. Guess what? Same strumming pattern. And then 2 measures of D major with the same strumming pattern. All All right, so let's go through the entire chorus here. I'll do a pass slow and I'll do a pass that's a little bit faster. Here we go from the top, slow pass. Nice and steady. Now to the second half. Okay, and also too, if you wanted to throw in like a D sus4 in wherever like the D chords are, just to add a little bit of color and lift, you totally could. So a D sus4, all you're gonna do, keep the D chord shape as it is, your fourth finger placing down on the third fret of the E string. It's a good chord. Yeah, so you can throw that in too, feel free. It's a beautiful one. So let's go ahead and do this from the top. I'm gonna play or actually, let's play a little bit of a faster chorus. Here we go. See what I mean? With the sus4, kind of adds a little bit of lift. It's kind of cool, but optional. You don't need to if you don't want to. So from there, we have a verse 2, we have another chorus, and then we have an instrumental. So let me tell you how that instrumental is going to break down. So you have 6 bars, this is the instrumental section, 6 bars of D major with that strumming pattern, right? And then we're going to have 2 bars of A. And then from there, we're going to go to the second half of the chorus, the one that goes like this. So that's the instrumental section. From there, we're going to have an outro. So the outro is the second half of the chorus. We've already learned it. Again, G to A, to D, A over C sharp, to G major, back to A, and then 2 measures of D. And then guess what? Our intro riff comes back to be the outro riff. So what I would suggest there, if it was me playing this and it was the last outro riff, I would end with that D major chord. It would be kind of fun, so I would do that. But again, optional. It lends to a very beautiful ending to a really super fun song, very beginner-friendly tune. Again, as always, wishing you so much success in your musical journey. I hope this was a really fun one for you guys. Again, I've gotten so many requests for it, and I hope you all can take something away from this lesson. It's always cool to play riffs and fun beginner chords. So that was Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. Again, if you're enjoying the lessons, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It absolutely helps the cause. If you'd like to support me as an artist, you can buy my new EP, The Voices, on Bandcamp. I will put a link in the video description so you can check it out. We're super, super proud of it, and we're gonna be doing a little bit of traveling this summer, so be sure to check on my website. I'm going to some fun states this summer and would love to see you there. So again, wishing you so much success in your musical journey. Thank you all so much. It's always a blast, and everyone, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.